In this LSPDFR tutorial, we're going to talk about how to customize the lighting patterns on your backup ELS vehicles. Now, before we get started, you will need emergency lighting systems, or ELS for short, downloaded into your main game directory. I've left the link to the mod on lcpdfr.com in the description. I've also left a couple of links from some YouTubers who've created great tutorials on how to install and set it up in your game properly. I also highly recommend you make some sort of a spreadsheet like this. You could take a screenshot so you can follow the format. This will help us organize our ELS values for when we have to copy and paste them over into the XML documents later. So now that we have emergency lighting systems, or ELS, installed into our game, we can now enter our game and spawn in the vehicle that we wish to change the lighting pattern for, so that our backup can spawn with the customized lighting pattern. Now, if you've never customized the lighting pattern with ELS before, it's super simple. Just hit Control P, back out of the Start menu, and the ELS control panel will appear in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. To activate the lighting stages, hit the J key. This is Stage 1, this is Stage 2, and this is Stage 3. Now, it's important to keep in mind that backup will only spawn in Stage 3 lighting. So, the only pattern that you're going to want to customize and record the values for is Stage 3. Now, if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner at the panel, we have the warning lights activated and the primary lights activated. Those numbers underneath is the pattern number. Those are the numbers that we are going to record in our table. So, I'm going to customize the lighting pattern, and then I'm going to record the values once I'm finished. So now that I've customized the lighting pattern that I want my backup to respond with, I can now record the values that are in the ELS control panel. So for warning lights, we're going to record the number 51, and for primary lights, I'm going to record the number 70. I'm going to input that into the table that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and once you have completed that for this vehicle and any other vehicle that you wish to customize, you may exit the game, and then we can input those values into the XML document. Let's go. All right, so now it's time to input those values into the table real quick. If you haven't done this already, it's really simple. Open up your table, find the police slot that you were using. In this case, I was using Police 2. The warning light pattern was 51, and the primary light pattern was 70. Now, if you remember, in my Stage 3 for that vehicle, there was no secondary lights activated. If yours were activated, record that value as well. For me, I'm just going to put a dash here because I know that they were not activated. All right, so now that we know what those numbers are, we can minimize and we can go to the ELS XML file for that vehicle. By going to our main game directory, we can find that there's an ELS folder. Pack default, and we find our Police 2 slot. Right-click and hit Edit, or Edit with Notepad++. I recommend Notepad++ because it's more efficient in terms of editing code. And this is the file that we're going to be editing. Now, there's only essentially 2 changes that we're going to make, but I'm going to show you 1 or 2 cool things about this file that you can adjust for your own personal preference. We're going to scroll down until we see the WRNL, or warning light section. Now, yours might look a little bit different in terms of color. That is okay. You could change that all through settings and preferences. Under lighting format, we see preset patterns, and we see lighting Stage 3. This means that the only time that warning lights will be activated is during Stage 3. The pattern is preset to 31. Remember, we're going to change that to 51. We come down here to primary lights. We see that for lighting Stage 3, the preset pattern is 50. We are going to change that to 70. And then if we scroll down to secondary lights, if you remember, there is no secondary lights in Stage 3. And under lighting Stage 3, the pattern is 0, meaning they are deactivated. Now, once you've finished inputting your ELS values for that vehicle, you can come up here to File and hit Save, and then you can X out if you want to. But I will give you 1 or 2 quick little tips and tricks for all your ELS vehicles that will help you customize your game even further. If you look in these lighting sections, there are code lines called forced patterns. This means that when you activate, for example, your main horn, pattern 0 or whatever number you input will be displayed on your light bar, or whatever section of the lights that you are customizing. The one I like to customize is the out of vehicle section. A lot of agencies do it now, where once they put their vehicle in park or get out of their vehicle, the lighting pattern on their vehicle changes to a slower, less distracting pattern for other drivers. You can do the same thing and make your game even more realistic by finding a pattern in-game that you think would work once you're out of the vehicle, and then by hitting true instead of false in this section. You could do that for every single section, including warning, primary, and secondary if you feel. That's just a quick little tip and trick. Also, if you have a vehicle that for some reason only has stage 3, that is because the lighting stage activation type is automatic. You want to switch this if it says automatic to manual, and that will give you all 3 stages of your lights in ELS. Again, once you make any changes, hit File, hit Save, and then we could exit out of this file. And we are all done. Now, we are going to re-enter the game just to see if our default changes have saved and see if this vehicle is now customized to our liking. Let's go. All right, so now we're on a traffic stop, and we're going to just double check to see if the Explorer that responds to our stop has the same stage 3 lighting pattern that we do. So our backup has arrived. It is the Police 2 slot, the 2020 FPIU, and as we can see here, the stage 3 lighting pattern is the same that we have customized, and we know that this can now work for every single ELS vehicle in the game. Well, I hope this tutorial helped you improve your LSPDFR gameplay. If you liked the video, if you hated the video, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section. I'm Nix, and I'll catch you in the next one.